Welcome to JoTea. I'm Jodie, and let's spill that Love is Blind Italy tea. We are just taking over Europe with Love is Blind. When it comes to the Italians, one thing that we can always expect is a lot of sweet talking. They actually are very good with their words. It's just what they do. They're very dramatic. It's gonna be a lot of fakeness. A lot of Italian people are fake. Not all of them, but in my experience, Italians come across very fake. They're very nice to your face, very not nice behind your back. But I just don't think Love is Blind Europe, they're not realistic. They're going on because they want to be on reality TV, and in all seriousness, most reality TV stars actually don't make it in a reality career afterwards. They just don't. The Netflix reality stars don't get a big career after it. It's not like Love Island. You have to really put in the hustle. These Europeans going on Love is Blind for careers, I can see you. I see right through you. The bottom line is, I think American Love is Blind is just a lot more real. They actually seem to find love or be in there to find love. Whereas I just find Europe very fake. It's not very authentic. They're over the top. They'll tell you what you want to hear. Look, I'm European. I can say that. I can say that because I'm from Europe. But I am enjoying there being more franchises and more seasons of Love is Blind. It's a great show. It's great entertainment. And I just know this one is going to deliver the drama. Speaking of drama, our main dramatic square. It's not a triangle. It's a square. Our main drama square of this season is between Nicola, Ludo, Karen, and Davide. I thought Nicola and Ludo were going to be the it couple of this season. They were really selling it in the pod. He actually told us that he is an ex-soccer pro, so he played football, soccer as a pro, and then he got injured and he can't play anymore. Now that is obviously such a big thing in Europe, and if you're a pro footballer, the girls are obviously going to think you're David Beckham. This is a key moment because it stuck in Ludo's head for the rest of the freaking pod experience. I kind of felt like his relationship with Ludo was more emotional, whereas his connection with Karen was more playful and fun almost. And I really was rooting for Nicola and Ludo to actually come out together. They were the couple I was rooting for this season. With Karen, she does have a 15-year-old son. She let us know that she's the type of woman that will fall in love after talking to you for 15 minutes, and we kind of seen that with her and Nicola. She did fall very quickly, but she also got very jealous very quickly. She gave him an ultimatum almost on like day 3. When he tells her that he's got a connection with another person, she's not receptive to it. She's not fucking with it. She doesn't want to know. She tells him that she's not going to speak to him until he figures out that it's only her or that it's not her at all, and then she walked out. I really did think this was going to push him away because he was a lot more into Ludo. Eventually, what made their relationship actually fall apart is Ludo's insecurities started to get to her, and she was hearing what she wanted to hear from David. Now, David came into her pods, and one of the first things he said to her was, I felt at home the minute we started talking, and as soon as he said that, I knew I needed this man to get out of my face, get out of these pods. We're not doing it. I felt at home as soon as we started talking. After talking to someone through a wall for 10 minutes, I'm not fucking with, I don't do that shit. I don't do it, you're fake. Davide, you're an actor, go the fuck out. She did end up getting very fed up with Davide halfway through though, because he's just all jokes. He's all jokes, all laughing, and there's just nothing deeper there to him. I don't feel like that was her match. I feel like she just went with him because, as I said, her insecurities got to her. She just heard that Nicola is an ex-soccer player. These European girls think that means he's David Beckham, and he really is not David Beckham. He's more like Lord Farquaad. But after Ludo told Davide that she's 99% with him and still another 1% was with Nicola, because Davide then went into the quarters and told Nico this. Nico went in absolutely fuming, ready to break up with her. When he walked in, Ludo has a Christmas tree set up because his whole thing was he's never set up a Christmas tree with a girl before that he's ever lived with, and he's never celebrated Christmas with a girl that he's lived with. That's something that he's always wanted to do. So she set up this Christmas decoration date for him. This obviously made him actually just melt because he went in there to break things off for her. She was obviously his number one. We can tell that from the way he's acting. He's pissed because Davide came and told him she's 99% with me and 1% with you. Ludo did tell him, like, you bring out my insecurities. I don't think it's gonna work on the outside because I don't think I'm good enough for you. And obviously that's not a good way to start a relationship. Before she even sees sees him, she's convinced herself she'll never be enough for him. She's right in thinking it's not going to work on the outside because she's already self-sabotaged the relationship. She did leave the pods. She took a minute to kind of calm down, but when she came back, she told him, we're from two different worlds. I just don't think it's going to work. I think we're going to hurt each other, and I think we're better off with other people. Nico did not take this well. He picked up the Christmas tree, he flung it at the wall, he left. I think he actually told her to fuck off, and then he stormed out, ripping his mic off. He was not having it. But then after literally days of arguing, basically then being rejected by Ludo, because can we be so serious? If she was going to choose him, he was going to go with her. But after all of that, he ended up proposing to Karen, and she said yes. But I was really surprised because it looked like she was going to say no, and she was telling everybody it's obvious that she's being treated as second best. I really thought she was going to say no. She looked disgusted when he was proposing to her. I was surprised she said yes. Davide obviously then proposed to Ludo, and she said yes as well. Now we did see on the honeymoons, Nicola told Karen the only thing he wishes he could change is that he chose her sooner. And when she asked him, why didn't you leave with Ludo? It's obvious you guys had something. He said it's because he always pictured his life with her from the very beginning, which is a whole lot of fucking bullshit. And it made me think that Nico is just as fake as I thought he was, because the only reason you chose Karen and didn't leave with Ludo is because she didn't want to leave with you. If you could have, you would have. So why are we lying, talking about you wish you would have chose her sooner? Maybe more so you just wish you never met Ludo. I did genuinely think though, after all of Nicola's crashing out in the pod, that eventually it would have been him and Ludo in the end, and they would have got through it and it would have been them. But it just wasn't. We then seen him saying at the honeymoon stages that Ludo was just a phase and he would have blocked her in the real world. He cuts people off easily, and that's what he would have done to her, so that's what he's gonna do. I really do feel like these two just chose their second option almost to get back at each other, honestly. I feel like Ludo chose Davide as a safe option. She basically told us that's what she was doing because she was too insecure to choose the guy that she actually wanted to choose, which is actually kind of really sad if you think about it. But she chose him anyway. She eventually told us that all she's been thinking about on the honeymoons is Nicola, which is not fair on Davide either. You guys just, instead of choosing each other or leaving alone, you then brought two other people into the equation just to hurt them more. There was no need to hurt other people in the process of this. But I do genuinely think they both chose their second options just to get back at each other, and like it's just gonna end up hurting other people. Then when they finally meet each other at this reunion on the honeymoons, she keeps telling him that he made her insecure, and it sounds like she has regret for choosing Davide and not going with her heart and choosing Nicola. He's telling her that she's not being honest with herself and she's not happy with Davide, and her response to this was literally that he's been on her mind since last night. So she didn't deny that. She did obviously tell him that she's happy with Davide, but her response being that all she's been thinking about is him, is telling the guy that yes, part of me does regret picking Davide. She eventually then goes and tells Karen that Nicola doesn't believe me that I'm happy with Davide and he thinks I regret my decision, blah blah blah. And Davide overhears it. Like, she purposely is causing drama and stirring the pot because she's saying it to certain people. She's saying it in front of her partner. It's like she wants the drama, because when Karen does eventually confront Nico, she looks delighted. She's happy to see them in some drama. Karen storms off and Nico's looking at her like, what was that even all about? And she's just smiling. You can tell she's satisfied with the drama she's caused. Our next dramatic contestant is Giovanni. This guy comes in thinking that he is a barbaric Viking. No, you are not, sir. You are not. I don't know who told you that. You don't look like a Viking. I don't even think you have Viking blood. You don't look like a Viking. His first connection is with Georgia, and they bonded over their love of horses. They basically want to live on land with a castle and have horses running around, and Georgia already has horses, so they're already halfway to their dream, except they're not. It's very quickly learned by all the girls that Giovanni is treating all the girls the same. He's wooing all the girls. He's giving everybody his cologne. He's giving gifts, and Georgia quickly finds this out in the quarters because Miriam tells her that she has a similar connection with Giovanni. He's given her his aftershave on little cards and stuff, but it's really weird because it seems like he's giving girls his cologne on the first date. I don't really get why that happened or how that happened. It's almost like he was just giving it out to everybody. My only argument though for that is it is the beginning of the experiment that he did all this in, so doesn't that just mean that he's being his authentic self if he's treating all of you the same and coming across the same to all of you until he finds a real connection? Georgia then came out of nowhere with the weirdest dilemma question, and this makes or breaks describes her relationship with him, which I thought was kind of strange. But her question was, if we have a 14-year-old son and he wants to go to a party, how is he getting home that night? And Giovanni's answer was by taxi, and she was not having it. Like, they had full level beef over this. She's like, that just means we have different morals. How could you be letting him get a taxi? I knew my parents cared about me because they would pick me up when I went to parties. And it's like, you're beefing over something that's actually impossible to be your situation for at least 16 years because you just met yesterday. I get the sentiment that she's coming with, that she's trying to see if they're on the same moral standpoint, but people change. People change when they have kids. People change as years goes on. People change when boundaries are set. You cannot ask someone how they're going to treat their 14-year-old kid when they're not even a father yet. They're not even planning kids, and you're asking, what are you going to do when your kid is 14? That's a crazy dilemma to give someone to see if you're compatible or not. He was so valid in this argument because he told her, we don't even know each other yet. This conversation is not going to help us get to know each other more. But Giovanni's other connection was Jordana. From this, I could see he was just playing all the girls. He really was. You could see that he's given the same lines to everybody. He is treating them all the same. Jordana sees right through him. When I look at her in them pods, she knows her shit. She knows what she's doing there, and she's not going to accept fucking nothing. He told her after a couple of dates, which I think he kind of wasted her time, that he needs a woman that will slap him around and have an argument with him. So basically, he liked Georgia's argument about the 14-year-old son thing. Even though he acted like he hated it, he obviously liked the argument she started for no apparent reason. Jordana was obviously angry with him because she felt let on. She told him straight, and then she left the room. She said, like, I don't give a fuck, you wasted my time, but she had nothing else to say to him. After all the arguments, he did propose to Georgia, and she happily accepted the proposal, even after hearing everything the girls said in the quarters about how the fact that he is probably most definitely playing you. When I see a glimpse of them on the honeymoons though, I'm getting the sense that Georgia is just a little bit too serious for him. They both seem like serious people, but he has a playful side to him, and I just don't see that in her. I just see argumentative, everything has to be serious. They spoke about their views on things the first night of the honeymoons, and she seemed very happy to share after that she made him sleep on the couch. It seems like the argument was about them not sleeping together, because she's telling us that she's very much needs that sexual connection and she needs to be able to like get close to her partner ASAP, while he's telling us he's very traditional in that sense and he needs to wait because he doesn't want to rush that connection. You see this a lot with guys in Love is Blind. They feel like if they rush to that connection, that's all it'll be based on, and they want something deeper than that. But Georgia's not having it, and she's making him sleep on the couch. Now, my all-time favorite couple of this season is Jordana's real match with Parmi. The only thing is, it makes me really sad when I look at their relationship too. From the beginning, we see that Parmi is so into Jordana. He is obsessed with her just through the wall, but she's not sure about him in the pods because he tells her that his parents are of Indian descent, and straight away she's saying her parents may not ever be okay with her being with an Indian person. This is one reason why we don't disclose this type of thing in the pod, but at the same time I kind of get it, because if her parents are extremely racist and she's probably in the same boat as them, you wouldn't want Parmi to be matched with somebody like that. But he seems willing to fight to win over her parents, win over her love, and I just feel a little bit sad for him that he feels like he needs to prove himself in this. I do hope in the pods she was giving him a bit more reassurance than we seen, because she was a little bit cold towards him in the pods, but after that we did see their relationship being a lot closer. We do hear her though in a lot of her conversations. It seems like she's looking for a support system. She asks the guys that she's speaking to, if something happens with her parents, how will they be able to support her? Will she be able to put all her emotions on them and they'll be able to take it? It really does seem like she's looking for a support system. When we see her on the honeymoons, in one of her VODs, she does say Parmi looks after her emotions before he looks after his own, and that's what she's looking for in a guy. I think that's a little bit of a red flag. Your partner should look after their own emotions first, make sure they're good before looking after you, if that makes sense. Of course they should also look after you, but if they're not good, they can't take care of you in the best capacity. You need to look after yourself first, you know what I mean? I would never want to expect my partner to say, I don't give a fuck how I'm feeling before you. Does that make sense? I hope the way I'm wording that makes sense. I do think they're very cute together though. He's obviously obsessed with her. I think their connection's going to come on really well. If anybody has a chance in this experiment, it's probably only going to be them, because everybody else in this experiment, I promise you, is not making it to the altars, and if they do, they're saying no. I did did feel a little bit like she was judging him quite a lot in the pods, and I didn't like that. I only really did start to like them a lot after the pods. I found it very interesting. They bonded on the honeymoon through foot holding. I think we've got a foot fetish going on in this relationship. It's funny because she keeps talking about how she does not do physical touch. She doesn't like it, but she felt comfortable with him holding her foot. They are my favorite couple so far, but I am worried for what lies ahead with her racist parents. We did see Giovanni and Georgia speaking at the honeymoon reunions, and it's very interesting because Giovanni seems like he just so badly wants Jordana to say to him, I made a mistake, I wish you chose me, choose me, pick me, love me. She was never gonna say that. She told him, I told you everything I had to say to you in the pod. I have nothing else to say to you. We're done. He literally was talking to her as if, oh, but you did the same thing. You chose your second option. You chose Parmy. And she's like, hold on, wait a minute. Because he was never second option. And I don't know who told you that. She stood 10 toes behind her man though. She was talking about how happy she is with him. And basically for Giovanni to go fuck himself. And I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. I think Giovanni definitely regrets his decision. He almost basically said he does. Then we've got two other couples that were not in any triangles, squares, any shapes. Alessandro and Ione. Now, interestingly enough, I felt like their connection in the pod was mostly sexual, but then they did seem to like kind of be all over each other and very happy in the meetings. I didn't feel connected to them through the screen. I didn't really care for their connection, to be honest with you. They did connect a lot over parents and things like that. He never actually asked her to marry him in the pod. He only asked her, do you want to continue this journey with me? Is that even allowed? Because unless you get on that knee and ask the woman to marry you, it shouldn't be allowed. We should just send them home. He did ask her to marry him at the revealed, so I guess that counts. Something obviously happened with them because they couldn't go to the honeymoons, but they will be joining us back when they get to Italy. And then we had Alessandro and Alessia. They seemed to click instantly, and they actually look like a match for each other. She's really worried because he's 26 and she's 30. This seems to be a really big thing for her. He did a lot of cute things for her in the pods. He got her flowers, he wrote her a letter. They just seemed like a really sweet couple. And then when we did see them get engaged and for the revealed, it was very over the top. It was a lot. There was a lot of kissing going on. Like, I felt like it was intruding. They needed to get a room. It wasn't really even passionate. It was just very like I know when like we watched Love is Blind France, there was a lot of like passionate, oh my god, it's cute type thing, but the Italians were just all over each other for the reveals. I guess they are known for being passionate people, but it's definitely in the opposite way to the French. I think their biggest downfall, although they've been so sweet throughout their whole connection, all the way up to the honeymoons, we now see that age is going to be an issue for them. She's going to hold on to this age thing until the end, and that's where it's not going to work. Although he's younger than her, it's like she actually just doesn't really think with her brain, because she's telling him she's ready to have kids in a year's time, and he's like, yeah, I get that, but no. And she thinks he's disagreeing because of his age. She's like, oh, I get you're young, you probably still want to party and just have fun. And that's not what he's saying at all. He's telling you that being with somebody for a year and then having kids is fucking insane, because you can't get to know somebody fully in a year. That's what he's telling you. He's not telling you he's too young to have kids. He's telling you you can't be with somebody for a year and then have kids. I can just tell from watching them, they're on this high, and it's going to be a splatter. It's not going to go from high to low. No, it's just going to go bang, and it's going to splatter. It's going to be dramatic, and it's going to be painful. I can see it. I don't think this one is going to end well. They're very sweet, they're very lovey-dovey, and it's just not going to end well. She asks him every 5 minutes if he's happy with his choice, and he's like, what the fuck? She doesn't like how he eats. She doesn't like how he behaves. She's very nitpicky, and she's going to continue to be very nitpicky because of his age. 26 is not that young. It's not that young. But I can tell she's going to make this a very big thing, and I actually think she's more childish than him. I do. I can tell you, sitting here right now, I don't think any of these couples are lasting. You can place your bets on it. You tell me who you think is going to last, because I don't think any of these people are going to last. Prove me wrong. Maybe Parmy and Georgiana, or if Nico and Ludo get together, but even then, I think they'd be toxic as fuck. I hope Love is Blind Italy proves me wrong, that Europe Love is Blind can actually work. Let's talk in the comments on all your opinions on our new couples from Love is Blind Italy. I will see you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that video.